Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, everybody had a nice, restful President's Day yesterday since we didn't have any assignments that you had to work on. Hope took a nice little break, 3-day weekend. All right, so today we are going to finish up the French Revolution and our unit on the more violent of the revolutions. We're going to wrap up today by, not today, but at the end of the week by looking at the Latin American ones. But the French Revolution is important, so we need to be sure that we have a good understanding of it. So we're going to do first the French Revolution, the Reign of Terror, just kind of to sort of summarize what the revolution was about and what happened after, because it's not like once the revolution part was over, it was over. That was just the beginning of another part, and that's the part that's called the Reign of Terror. So you've got an Ed puzzle to complete here. Then we're going to work on our first DBQ. DBQ is database question. You will see lots of these in high school, and in fact, your end of course exams will have DBQs on them that are graded, hand graded. Or part of your exams in high school. So we need to learn how to write those. And we're going to do that in steps. These do require a good bit of effort from you. You have to really read and think and cite evidence and whatnot. This is not something that you should do quickly because this particular assignment does count as your test grade for this unit. It counts 40 points. You need to really take your time through this and think your way through it, because a halfway job is going to get a halfway grade. So I want to make sure that we kind of understand what you're doing. So you got 6 questions that you're going to answer here. All of the reading that you need is on this page. You are going to be analyzing 3 primary sources, and that's what DBQs do. You'll be given a list of sources. You'll need to read through the information there, and you're going to write an answer to a question. In this case, your question would be, who should be a citizen? But you're not answering that from your point of view. You're answering that point from the point of view. Well, I take that back. Yeah, you can put your input into this. However, you must illustrate what these sources are saying. So that's why we're going to step through it in little smaller pieces. So you're going to look at, what is a citizen, who should be a citizen, and what the thoughts were at the time of history. And then you're going to look at these 2 written sources. This is from Robespierre in 1789, and this is what he thought about voting rights and who should be able to technically be a citizen. Then you're going to look at this lady Edlers, and this was an activist, a female activist during the same time in history of 1790, and this is what she believed. Now there's some challenging words and vocabulary in here, so if after you have read through it a couple times, if you're not really sure what they're saying, please sign up for tutoring with me so that I can help you understand before you try to do any writing, exactly what are they saying and what are they talking about. And then you have a third smaller source here. This is not a document. This is just information, but this is your third source. Now, here are the questions you are answering. Each one of these should take a really good paragraph to answer. And you're not just putting filler in there. You need to learn to cite where you're pulling your information from, and it should be these documents. So for instance, the first question says, what does Robespierre think about basing citizenship on whether a person has property or pays taxes? So you should cite some of the things that he says in here, not big, long pieces, but fragments. And you want to do it by saying things like, according to Robespierre, he believes, and you can put what he believes, a little small part of what he believes in quotes, quotation marks, or you can simply write it, but after that, you want to put in parentheses, source 1. And that tells me you are pulling your information from source 1. If you're ever comparing or contrasting, you might say, Robespierre believes, blah, 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 put in parentheses, source 1, in contrast to Adler's, who says, and you would say what they say and put source 2 behind it. So you are giving answers to these questions according to what you are reading, and it must contain that kind of specific detail and that kind of referencing to what you are writing. So you're going to work your way through these 6 questions. Okay. Now, in this last one, you are allowed to give your opinion because that is what you're answering, but you can say, unlike Robespierre, I believe that's still showing that you understand how your opinion differs from theirs. All right. And then which source has the position to most like your own. Okay. You can't just say source two is more like my own and not say anything else. You have to explain why. So the key to all this is explaining and thinking and being very detailed. Now, because I know that that is going to take you a little more time, notice that I have allowed Wednesday to be a work day for your DBQ. So if this is not taking you pretty much a full class period or more, you are probably not doing it correctly. So just keep that in mind. Thursday, you're going to do a little bit of reading on Napoleon because he is part of that stuff that came after the revolution. He's part of the Reign of Terror in a way, not part of the terror part, but a personality who steps up during that. And then you're going to do an ed puzzle on Napoleon. Then we're going to take a look at the Latin American revolutions. So in this one, you've got specifically the Latin American revolutions overview. It will talk about a variety of those different Latin American revolutions. And then on the last one, on the Haitian Revolution, this is the only successfully led by slaves revolution that has occurred. You have a short textbook reading here. And this time, instead of me giving you the question, I want to practice your summary skills. I want you to write a 3-sentence summary of what you read in this link that captures the heart or the critical points of all of the reading. So practice your summarization skills because that's something that you're going to need, again, when you get to high school. If you need any help with anything, let me know. Have a great week.